All right, Mike with That's Good Enough For Me.com here with our Who's Zooming Who series. I'm joined with Zach Quinn and Jarret Nathan from the band PEARS. How you guys doing?
Excellent.
Great.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get this away. Obvious elephant in the room. You guys released a fucking killer album, booked a bunch of kick-ass shows, and then everything stopped in the entire world.
Wait, what stopped?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Everything's fine here. What do you mean?
Yeah, nothing is really, everything is going according to plan for us.
Oh, good. Okay.
Is something weird right now?
I mean, I haven't left my house in a very long time, so I can't tell you.
We're on tour right now.
Where are you playing? How was the show?
Right next door in the next room.
Why do you think that Band-Aid Brigade called the record "I'm Separate"?
I haven't read about this. What is this?
Nothing. It's nothing.
What are you eating there?
Pizza,
What kind of pizza?
cheese.
All right. Well, do you have anything to say about all the shows you weren't able to play?
It sucks that we're not on tour right now, and we'll make it there soon. That's
Yeah.
that.
I mean, when we can.
Yeah. Understood
It's
there.
hard. It's sad and it's fucked up. I mean,
Yeah, who knows what even the rest of this year is going to be like? We're just waiting. Every day is different, and we have stuff planned for later this year that will probably get canceled, may not, depending on everything. But I mean, all we can do.
I saw Punk Rock Holiday canceled, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's gonna go deeper into the year. It's just gonna go deeper and deeper.
I mean, I'm fully anticipating, like, I'm prepared to have the whole year just be shot. I'm hoping that's not the case, but I'm kind of expecting that with how the world is responding to all this.
Yeah.
Now, when I initially was thinking about reaching out to you guys, it was when the news was headlining that New Orleans was the hot spot in the country with the shit going on. Where are you guys all at? Jarret, I know that you said you live in Philly now.
Yeah, but everyone else is in New Orleans though. Philly's it's not that bad here. For a big city, there's I think 13,000 confirmed cases, which for like a major city is not at the top of the list, but still sucks everywhere.
Yeah, I got you. And Zach, have you kept in contact with the other guys? Have you guys social distance visited each other or anything?
No, I haven't seen any of the dudes since this whole thing started. I mean, they're here, but it's rough here.
Mm-hmm.
It's gnarly. Like Mardi Gras, it makes sense. Mardi Gras was right before all this shit fucking happened.
Yeah.
So of course it would explode here. And then there's just a lot of people here not taking it very seriously. And oddly, not even like the right wing type of people not taking it seriously. I mean, yes, we have those too, but there's also just people just like acting like it's not a thing. And it's definitely a thing. So I don't know. Yeah, it's gnarly here, but just trying to stay inside and make sure that I don't kill my Meemaw.
Yeah, understood. Father of a 3-year-old, so kind of the same thing. A member of my family was living in New Orleans working for NASA, and he is a organ transplant recipient, so he's on the top of the don't fucking get sick list. And
wait, hold the fuck up. Hold on. Your cousin works for NASA and is on the organ transplant recipient list?
I said a member of my family. Yeah, he's an engineer.
That is an engineer. That is a whole lot of attributes for one person to have. I'm jealous. I wish I was as interesting as this member of your family is.
Well, I'm sure that you just made my relationship with my father-in-law a little bit better. So thank you. Now as soon as the news got real shitty in New Orleans, he just hopped in his car, drove straight to Lincoln, to be with his family. I think it's like a freaking 20-hour drive or
Oh,
something.
we've done that drive from Omaha straight to New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, because we always end tours in really stupid places because New Orleans is not near anything. So we end in like New York or Denver or Omaha, and we've done that drive.
Being in New Orleans is like a strength for starting a tour.
Yeah.
Because you can go in any direction.
Uh-huh.
But then when a tour is over.
Well, this last tour we were supposed to do, we were ending in, I think, like Tennessee or something, where the second, like the last show wasn't that far from home.
You were finally going to do it.
All
right.
the Tennessee shit is like 6 hours away.
Yeah.
That's not
bad. One of the only advantages of being in a band in Nebraska and touring is that you're literally at the center. So you can go to New York and you can roll back, or you can go to Florida and you can roll back, or California.
Right.
Right. But the problem is nobody takes you seriously because you say you're from Nebraska.
Yeah. I hate it. I don't take anything from Nebraska seriously. What up?
You always go to the same Chipotle right across the street from the Lookout Lounge.
Yeah.
There's a Starbucks there too, in that little that little strip mall thing. We've done
I've been like kicked out of the drive-through of that Jimmy John's 3 or 4 times because I was hammered. Because I was hammered enough to decide that I was going to walk through the drive-through and force them to sell me food after hours.
They got people walking through drive-thrus now, like coronavirus era New Orleans. People just walk through drive-thrus now.
Yo, our daiquiri place is still open?
I don't know. Good question.
Huh. Yeah, all of Nebraska's kind of started following a lot of the like margarita to go policies and stuff that have existed in New Orleans in the South that I always got a kick out of when we would visit those areas. And now you can do it across the whole state. You can get fucking Applebee's and get a Long Island, and they'll give it to you in a styrofoam cup, which is
sick.
I was listening to this podcast about The Wire, and Jamel Hill, she writes for ESPN and stuff. I don't know if she writes for ESPN anymore, but she's great. She's from Detroit.
You're listening to a podcast about The Wire?
Yeah.
That's how we know that things are like dire right now.
But she's from Detroit, and at liquor stores, you would like buy a bottle of booze, and they would say, "You want a cup with ice with that?" Just to like take in the car and just drive around drinking that booze. I had no idea Detroit did that.
Have you ever watched The Wire before?
Yeah.
That's what I say after sex. I say, "You want a cup of ice with that?"
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of how you're feeling, Zach, I've been watching a lot of your live Instagram things lately.
Oh no.
How are you doing?
Fucking bad, man.
Yeah.
Doing bad. I'm losing my fucking mind. Yeah. I don't know. I'm doing all right. I don't know.
I watched the other day you were listening to some pop artist, and anytime anybody would comment with like, "Hey dude, PEARS is fucking awesome," you'd be like, "Dude, pay attention to this song. This is a really good song."
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Was it Phoebe Bridgers?
Probably. I've been listening to nothing but Phoebe Bridgers for like days.
Dude, I'm still on that Jenny Lewis kick. It's still just like all I listen to.
Oh, that's good. I think it's because I have like one earbud in and I'm kind of parenting and kind of working, and there's like Frozen 2 is on repeat, really, really, really loud for some reason. It just always seems like it's getting louder. So I've been listening to heavier and heavier music, like psychotic British techno music with like a chick screaming, or like horrible like southern butt metal.
Butt metal.
I love it.
Like
butt
Lamb
is
of
the
God.
best genre.
That was actually one of my questions. I was going to say, what are the weirdest new interests that you guys have after being stuck in your homes?
Oh, musical or just any? I'm sorry, any interest?
Any interest, yeah.
I'm a big video game guy, but I don't fuck with first-person shooters ever. But all my roommates have been playing Call of Duty Warzone, and it's free, so I've been playing that. I'd say that's a weird interest for me.
Okay.
Because those games don't appeal to me ever. So I've been doing
they never really appealed. I've always kind of figured that those games were somehow invented by the military to teach kids that it's cool to be in the military.
Yeah. It's more of a way to just hang out with people more than anything. That counts.
Yeah.
I got really into plants too.
I started like working on my yard like a real white dad. Like I planted some grass seed.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I've gotten into. I've developed. I want to know why and how cam girls that make a lot of money make money. Why and how? Like, what are the things that they do that make the most amount of money?
Oh, you're doing research for when you started OnlyFans.
Well, look.
I did take a deep dive into the Pornhub comment section the other day.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, if you've never done that before.
What is Pornhub?
Pornhub is just a porn website.
But he knows what Pornhub is. He's being a fucking...
What are comments? I don't know what those are.
So the comments section is like, it's derived of like multiple, like, first of all, is like the psychotic guy that's like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? What is her name? What is this girl's name?
And then someone being, I like to jack off, but Jack is spelled like J-A-K.
Yeah. But then there's more of like an intellectual comment section to Pornhub where it's like, excellent video.
Yeah.
I really like the cum shot squirt noise at the end. It was profound.
Yeah, and like a lot
like somebody that has actual like critique.
Yeah.
I guess the question would be, how much money do you make off of things that make you really fucking uncomfortable or scared?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's an interesting question to ask. Luckily for you guys, I have a sex worker that is joining our meeting right now.
Cool.
Who?
I don't know.
His NASA father-in-law.
His fucking kids come in.
You got to make money while you're furloughed.
Yeah.
Jarret, you've been making drum videos. They've been enjoyable. I was curious, on your Instagram, you've been posting them. I was curious if you did them all in one weekend or if you're actually going and hopping behind your kit once a day.
I do them like 1 to 4 at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, until I get frustrated and don't feel like doing anymore. Because I need them to be perfect. And if they're not perfect, I'll sit down there for fucking hours and it sucks.
Yo, by the way, they've been fucking flawless. I mean,
Thank you.
like,
that's because I won't release it unless it's flawless.
Dude, they've been like spot the fuck on. I'm like, how funny is it that we're in quarantine, we can't play shows, and it's the best you've ever played?
I know.
Of course.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm just getting ready, you know. As soon as we get tour again, I'll just be because I'm probably gonna go to Green Star after this.
Come 2022, you'll be ready to roll, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm really getting my I'm just going through the list of issues that Brian has with my drumming. I'm hitting the snare harder. I'm playing all 16th notes on the hi-hat.
He's such a dick to you about drums.
No, he hasn't done it he hasn't done it lately. These are like, well, not lately, but not that long ago.
But the videos are fucking great, dude. And honestly, I really appreciate a drummer that can play the same thing twice the same way.
Yeah.
And I as a okay drummer, I've been like scouring your album trying to find out how you're doing some of the things that you're doing. And now I'm watching you do it and I'm saying, oh shit,
it's not that hard. You can just look at it, me do it, and just do it.
Well, no, but Jarret, another thing, I mean, like you write drum parts, like you write drum parts.
Yeah.
Like you're not playing along to a song.
No,
Which,
I like,
especially in punk, like a lot of people just play along to the song.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
boring as
Like,
fuck. I'll
you're a very musical player.
well, thanks, considering I know nothing about actual music, but to make up for that
No,
by trying
I
to,
can attest to that too.
I was practicing with my my roommates in the basement the other day, and someone was like, all right, so like switch when I'm like playing, when I go to the A chord. I'm like, dude, I don't know what an A chord is. You gotta help me out.
But no, like Zach is right though. I mean, I can't tell you, as somebody that just obsesses over the instrumentals of punk bands, how frustrating it is to finally go see your favorite band play live and see the drummer just fucking phone it in, and you're like, he missed that fill, he missed that fill, he's fucking tired now, he's not playing double time the right way.
Yeah.
No, and as different as they are, as like stylistically, I mean, obviously Jarret pulls from him, but as different as they are stylistically, Jarret reminds me so much of Bill Stevenson in that way, where like each part serves a purpose.
Yeah.
And the parts show up live on the record. I mean, the parts are there because they serve purposes. It's not just he's not just filling in spaces, filling in beats.
Yeah.
Every part is written for a reason.
And I get bored really easily. So like I make it a point to keep myself entertained and to write rhythmically to like, you know, like with the fills and stuff that I'm doing to make sure I'm matching the bass, obviously, but then the stuff that Brian's doing, all of his picking, and then once Zach has his vocals down, my fills will generally evolve a little bit to mirror more of the syncopated stuff that Zach is doing with his vocals. So it's just kind of like a growing thing.
Well, you know, and it's funny too, because that's another huge thing that, like, you know, I mean, like a lot of the lyrics get like locked into place after you track. And that was,
oh, so you're writing to me also.
That was, yeah. And that was easily more of the case this record.
Definitely.
But it you know, I mean, the way that you play definitely influences the way that I'll write parts.
Hell yeah.
Like you know, depending on, like, you know, you have a 3-syllable word or whatever that I want to use, and there's a hit that you hit, and I'm like, well, now that's where this needs to fall. This needs to feel like that. Things like that happen too. Yeah.
How many songs did you walk into with Fogel to do? Or I guess, did you have, like, how much did you have left over?
We had like, it was 12 songs that were anywhere from like 60 to 95% instrumentally completed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's accurate, Zach?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah.
We wrote, Traveling Time and Nap Time we wrote in the studio.
Well, Traveling Time I wrote for my solo record.
Yeah. Well, we arranged it in the studio, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of songs didn't have like either bridges or endings.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a lot of that in the studio too. But yeah, 12 of the 14 songs generally
we went in with bones of songs.
Yeah.
And we kind of built them like to completion in the studio. It's definitely the least prepared we've been going into the studio, and not to say that we did that very much on purpose this time.
And it was scary as hell, but it worked.
No, I agree. I'm so happy that Traveling Time turned out to be a PEARS song. It's fantastic. It's a really good, like, deep breath in the middle of the record.
Yeah, it sat really nicely in a really disjointed way, but like also it felt right when we tried to do it, when we first started jamming on it, and yeah, it belongs on the record.
Oh yeah. Now you know, there was a lot of talk about how Lagwagon did their most recent record. They toured, and then they just kind of went to the studio and just like spit it out really fast without overthinking it. And I think that's what made Railer so good. And so it seems like kind of this is another methodology that can produce, how do I put it? You know, a no nonsense, just kick-ass record without.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever say that one way is better than another. You're just going to get different results.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I love Green Star, and Green Star was one of those records that we like slaved over, and it was basically mapped from start to finish by the time we went to the studio. I mean, almost.
Yeah.
But it's just a different beast entirely. This record, I will say, was way more fun to do because it was so on the fly, and there were so many things that we were building together in the moment.
There was a kind of pressure that was exciting about the last one.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm familiar with, you know, I'm a local musician, so I'm familiar with dropping money at the fucking silly Saddle Creek studio and smelling your money burning as you're trying to put out this record, and that kind of race against time feeling.
The race against time. That's it. I mean, like, there's something beautiful about that. I mean, the results that you'll get when you don't have time to overthink choices. So you kind of have to like just go with your gut, and it's like an instinctual thing, and that's really kind of neat. It's a lot more fun than than like slaving over a record before going into a studio.
And then you're not sick of the songs already when you're hearing them being mixed as well.
That's true too. Yeah. I mean, like, for example, I mean, you know, Green Star, right before we went to the studio, we had worked on those songs for so long that right before we went to the studio, Brian was convinced that we had to start over.
He wanted to rewrite the whole record.
All these songs are terrible.
Well, he's wrong in retrospect. I hope he knows that.
Yeah, of course he's wrong in retrospect. But at the time, he had thought about it so much, you know, and we didn't have the chance for that to happen this time around. And that was kind of fun.
Yeah, there was no time to worry.
Yeah.
We just did what we did.
Okay. Now, Chris Fogel, I've been a fan of the Gamuts, his old band, since I was like a little boy. Like his band would come play in Lincoln, and we'd like follow them to fucking Colorado and watch him play in Denver. I like slept at his apartment once when I was like fucking 20, and I was hammered, and he like took me and my guitar player buddy and my band in, because we were like just following him around all night. He's like, "You guys need a place to stay. You look fucked up."
Such a sweet.
So yeah, when I found out, I didn't even know that he was engineering. He sang vocals on my defunct pop punk band's record 9 years ago. He did like guest vocals on a song. I had no idea that he was like, "Hey, I got like a little recording studio set up so I can send you some vocals." And then the Gamuts came out with their latest record, I think shortly after that. And I said, "Oh, this sounds really good. He's a pretty good engineer." But when I was listening to your record, I had no idea at all that he had done it.
Yeah, he's the fucking man. I mean, I did the Band-Aid Brigade record with him. We did this record with him, and then I'm working on a solo record with him right now. I mean, COVID kind of put a little halt in it, but the music finished. I got to go back and do vocals, but I'm really enjoying the rapport that we've built with him. He's so fucking brilliant in the studio. He's got a great ear, and he's got great taste, and
so patient. So patient.
I mean, he knows what like he gets a feel for what everybody is capable of, and he brings the best out of us. And he's just a really, really wonderful producer.
Yeah.
He's amazing to work with. And you kind of get spoiled, you know, a little bit working with him.
I don't doubt that at all.
Not everybody is like that. He's definitely a special kind of producer.
I'm just excited that I might see his name attached to some more like fat bands and epitaph bands and.
Oh yeah, he's been doing all kinds of shit. Yeah.
That's rad. That makes me very happy. Good. What else do I have going on here? So this is actually funny. I'm happy that you bailed last night, Zach, because I didn't. I knew I was doing this interview on Zoom. Who's zooming whom? Or that's goodenoughforme.com. I didn't know what the website URL meant. I didn't even read into it, and then I found Jeff showed me that it's a quote. It's a quote from a Slapstick album, the Almost Punk Enough, and it's kind of a sentiment that, it's cool to cover punk music, but obviously we all like a lot of different kinds of music because we're artists, human beings.
Right.
So I was curious if you wanted to kind of plug or talk about any artists that are completely not punk.
Phoebe Bridgers. Phoebe Bridgers.
I felt like I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's the only thing I've been talking about for the last week. Because I don't know, I've fallen in love with her record, A Stranger in the Alps.
Mm-hmm.
That record has been my quarantine spin for a while now. I don't know, Jarret, you go.
I'm still just listening to Jenny Lewis all the time. Her new record, On the Line. Just when we were in Denver actually recording, I fell into a deep hole of just taking mushrooms and listening to Jenny Lewis. Mm-hmm. So it just that record just stuck with me. It's so fucking good.
I saw Jenny Lewis. No big deal.
You saw her perform?
Yeah, with the Watson twins.
Huh?
With the Watson twins.
Nice.
Back on that, when that first record came out.
I saw her on tour with the Watson twins last year.
Yeah.
Were you at that show?
No, but I saw it way, back when it was new,
Nice.
Well, if you must know, Jenny Lewis's first band was signed to the big, cool indie rock label in Omaha. So, I actually knew about her first.
Rilo Kiley's sick.
Yeah, Rilo Kiley's fantastic.
I love Rilo Kiley. And this is horrible, but like I said earlier, my entire day is kind of dictated by my 3-year-old daughter. My wife has to take phone calls in order to do her job, and we're both really fortunate to be able to work from home and still have an income. So I feel guilty in complaining about it, but my daughter wakes up at about.
It's COVID, man.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But at about 7:30 in the morning, my daughter wakes up, and it's time for everybody to wake up, and nobody has a fucking choice. Mm-hmm. I clock in and kind of start working from my dining room table while the TV's blasting, and I don't want her to watch this much TV either, which is a completely different conversation. But I'm setting devices in front of her and being like, sorry, it makes me feel terrible. But what's funny is when I'm finally walking my dog or having a drink at midnight by myself, I'm like, I'm going to listen to Into the Unknown from the Frozen 2 soundtrack because that song fucking rips.
I thought you were going to talk about the Bad Religion album. Just the best Bad Religion album.
Have you heard it?
Oh, Into the Unknown, yeah. Oh, I didn't even make that connection. That's really funny.
That was the first thing that I thought of when you said that. I was like, what, that really weird Bad Religion album? Shit.
What's the other one?
Man, you know what? After a long COVID day where I just got to do all this crazy shit, I just like to kick back, crack open a beer, and listen to that Bad Religion record, Into the Unknown.
So my father was he was a journalism professor at a college in a small town in Nebraska, and he moved my family from Texas up to this fucking town to take this good job, and I'm happy that he did, and we obviously all made it out of it okay. But this tiny college had this tiny radio station, and this was the 90s, so everybody thought they were everybody wanted to work at a radio station. Mm-hmm. So my dad was able to. He gave me CDs all the time because they would get promo CDs from artists, but they didn't actually do music reviews on their college newspaper because it was so small. And I first heard Insane Clown Posse because he gave me a CD. It was before anybody knew who they were, and I put it in my CD player, and I was like, this is fucking horrible. But along with that, I got all of the Bad Religion Island record releases,
All
like
right.
promotional copies of them. And I knew that Bad Religion was supposed to be cool as a child. So I was like, no, this is good. No, this is good. I can't remember what any of those records are called right now. One of them had like a nun on the cover with she was like a pinup doll. No Substance.
No Substance. No, that was like she was like it was like a porno chick, all like. Ugh.
But I thought she had like a cross or.
Yeah, she had a cross, but then like red latex something. It was a bunch of red and flesh tones.
So I remember going to going to the punk metal kids and be like, look, I like Bad Religion, I'm cool. And they're like, dude, that record sucks ass. And I'm like, no, it's not. That's a good memory. But
It's a shame the Gathering got canceled.
Huh?
It's a shame the Gathering of the Juggalos got canceled this year. That's been on Brian's wish list for PEARS to play for a while now.
Dude, I feel like the Gathering of the Juggalos, they probably had coronavirus like a couple years ago over at that fucking thing, man.
I feel like half of them did. There's like the ICP fans are like half of them are what you'd expect, but the other half are just like fucking like cool, smart, good people.
Yo, you know what I read about? I read recently they detected coronavirus in the semen of somebody who recovered from coronavirus.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's still unclear, like, whether or not it's transmittable that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
my question is, how did this transaction take place?
right, like, it was like, all right, you know what? You had coronavirus? Jerk off into a cup now.
It's like, so I was jerking off last night and reading the comment section on Pornhub, and I thought, I was just sick. Maybe the doctors can do something with this stuff.
No, they have to swab you like they do, or they stick the thing in your nose, just like straight up there.
Oh. Okay. Well, this got fucking dark, and I'm all out of questions. Do you guys have anybody that you want? Do you have any friends or bands or anybody that you want to say hi to?
I don't have any friends.
I want to say hi to my boy Eric. Eric, I am psyched that you're learning drums. I'm glad that you called me when you got an electronic drum kit. That's it.
Eric doesn't play drums. He's making that up.
Eric said he perfected the Tom Sawyer beat, and he called me. He was like, "Yo, dude, I've been watching all your drum videos, and it's so cool. And like, I just want to tell you that I got an electric drum kit, and well, it's not mine, it's Izzy's, but I've been playing like every day, and like it's really cool. And
the other day he stayed up until 8 a.m. playing on the electric drum set.
Oh my god!
I mean, I can confirm that that's a thing that's entirely possible. And to be frank with you, like as a married guy and a father and a drinker, like I wish I had like audio just right up the stairs from my basement of just me like just clicking around.
Yeah, I should
with headphones on,
I should
because you put on
Izzy and tell him to just tell Izzy to film Eric playing drums without him knowing. I would love to just see what he's doing.
It would be pretty cool to see it.
You've seen that Freaks and Geeks episode, right? Where he's playing fucking Tom Sawyer on drums, and it sounds epic, and then it finally cuts to what it actually sounds like at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's really funny.
My answer is, hey Eric.
We salute you. Everybody should learn how to play some level of drums. I think that's good. Yeah.
Everybody should learn how to play some level of Tom Sawyer.
Brian's been playing drums every day too. He's been going to the practice space and playing like hours and hours a day. All the drum heads that I ordered for the tour, he threw them on Mason's kit. He called me. He was like, "Dude, I didn't know drum heads make such a big difference." So we're all, Zach, you got to start drumming. Everyone's drumming.
Well,
Zach likes to break in my kit before a show.
Warm it up. Not break it in, warm it up.
Yeah.
And by warm it up, you mean like move the snare just like the littlest bit to make everything.
Yeah, I like to move
comfortable?
everything around to make sure it's uncomfortable for him to play.
Dude, that show in Memphis where I just started playing Longview, and then you came down drum set, and then all of a sudden I have the microphone, and then I freeze because I don't know what to do with my body. Oh. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
What a wonderful time.
Who were you, for reals though, who were you slated to do some tour dates with? Who is
We're supposed to, I mean, we have a tour like ready to go in August and September on the East Coast, but
I mean, what bands out of the canceled tour dates were going to be joining you guys?
I mean, we were looking forward to the Single Mothers tour. I love it so much. I've been wanting to play
Was
with
there
them
anybody
for-
else you were going to be touring with? I think it's just the Single Mothers thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to go back to school.
What are you studying?
Psych.
When did you come up with that joke?
I just realized
It wasn't even a joke, but I mean, I understand it as a joke now. I'm just a funny guy.
That was a good joke. Wait, is that not a joke? Are you doing that?
I'm going to study psychology.
Hell fucking yeah. That's sick. But the way you said psych made it seem like a joke.
That is a funny joke, dude.
That's-
I'm going back to school. What are you studying? Psych.
Yeah. Wait, is this real? You're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I'm going to do it if the rest of the tours for the fall get canceled, which I'm sure they will. So I'll do a fall semester.
Hell yeah. That's sick. You'd be really good at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I started, so let's see if I can pick up where I left off.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Zach goes to college.
That's right. Hi.
Hi.
You still have no face.
I have no face?
Yeah, it's just
There should be a thing to allow video.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there he is.
hell yeah.
Yes!
My well-rested boy.
I feel much better. Last night, dude, I just needed to sleep.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm eating pizza.
Is Bebop sleeping with you every night now?
Mima? Yeah. She's been scared. She gets scared when it storms, you know?
Yeah. Classic Mima.
Yeah. And Cleston's nowhere to be found.
Is Cleston still around?
I think so. I don't know.
Is Mima still going to the mall all the time?
No.
She's obeying the rules.
Yeah. She's being a good girl.
Good.
She got tired of me spanking her on her little diaper butt.
I bet. She used to love the Spanx, though.
Uh-huh.